Okay, we are live on YouTube. I am just gonna wait for this video to connect so I can grab that link and place it in our group so that our community has the convenience of just clicking the link and joining us in the YouTube live chat. All right, YouTube has been good to me 2 days in a row. I'm not gonna look a gift horse in the mouth. All right, we have our link over there in the community, in the group for our community. Speaking of groups, if you, yes, you are a solopreneur or entrepreneur who is struggling to get to your first six figures in business, you need to be in our group, shaycannon.info/group. We have 3 pillars of value that we attest to for that group. And that is number one, we actually build community. Okay. Number two, we collaborate. We come together to make each other's businesses better and to make money together. Number three, we have conversations that are transformational to your business growth, which is exactly what you need. So you need to be in our group. It is free. Although we have been told we give value of that of a paid group. So, hey, why aren't you in there yet? shaycannon.info/group. Okay, guys, let's get started. Good morning. Welcome to Unlock Your First Six Figures Morning Show. I am your host, Shay Cannon. It all starts with a blog, and this week's blog is at shaycannon.com/Q4 because what we're talking about this week are the top 3 focuses for Q4 to end your year with small business success. Okay. Let's talk about how this morning show has been going on for 3 years now. We have 120 plus blog posts over there about business. And so what we're talking about is how your fourth quarter, the top 3 focuses, we've already gone over this stuff. So I'm going to tell you why it's important, and then we're going to steer you to the content that is already there for you. Okay. So the top in the top 3 was content. So if you're having problems with content, you need to go to yesterday's replay, which was part 1, where we talked about content being important focus for your Q4. Okay. Today we're on marketing. Marketing is an important focus for Q4. So a lot of people kind of start to only look for holiday marketing, but you're going to have to do the holiday marketing and your everyday marketing and other promotions because it is not time to slow down just because it's the end of the year. In fact, it's the time to look at the numbers, look at your goals and rev up. Okay. So marketing, with consumer spending peaking in the last quarter, strategic marketing is essential to maximize visibility and capture demand. Okay. Maximize your visibility and capture demand. Effective marketing campaigns amplify your offers and differentiate your brand in a crowded marketplace, driving traffic and conversions. The period is an opportunity to leverage heightened customer interest and ensure your products and services are seen by the right people at the right time. Okay. Your homework is to use the search magnifying icon in the top right of my site and search for market or marketing so that all the blog posts pop up. You can go in our community and search for marketing, and all of the old morning shows about marketing will come up. Okay. So that's your homework. But let's talk a little bit about marketing in the fourth quarter. All right. Because even though the question that I'm going to ask you guys is going to be, what is your biggest obstacle with marketing your business? I need you to know that in the fourth quarter, it's different. Okay. In the fourth quarter, what's happening is this is the time of year when people are primed to buy. They are looking everywhere to buy things. Okay. It's almost like SEO where they encounter you only when they're looking for you, right? The fourth quarter is all about getting to people and catching their attention when they are ready to buy because it is buying season. All right. So that's number one. Number two, if you are a small fish in a big ocean, we want to watch doing paid ads and running our main sales only around those peak holiday times because you can preempt and catch attention before everybody gets started with that, right? Let me give you an example. I might have something for sale during Black Friday, but I don't really push it because that's the optimum time where everybody's fighting for attention. So what I do is I have a black and orange sale, or orange and black sale, or orange and Black Friday in October. Because I'm getting ahead of all of them. I'm garnering the attention. We're still in quarter 4 where people are primed to buy, but I'm getting ahead of having to fight a whole bunch of people for attention. So I want you to look at, yes, you're going to have a sale for Christmas. Yes, you're going to have a sale for Black Friday. But when else can you have a sale that people aren't really inundated with people trying to grab their attention? So think about that too. Okay. So let's check over here on the YouTube side. We got a good morning, top of the AM, good people from Keith. Hello, ladies and gents from Glow. And we got Dania over here says good morning. Okay. So the question is, what obstacles are you having with your marketing? Okay, so we're going to start in studio. Shawana, what obstacles are you having with marketing?
Me.
Okay, so your answer was me. So you, how is it you?
Well, because I help others with theirs, which means without having the right people in place for what I do to help me, then that's why I say it's me. Because I'm still going through the curve of trying to find the right fit to do things for me as I help other people.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm still in that curve. I'm testing people literally as we speak. And yeah.
So what I'll say is if we're trying the same test over and over again, or doing the test the same way, we need to look at doing a different test or doing it a different way. Or maybe we need to be looking at what exactly is the role we're hiring for, right? Are we expecting too much out of one role? Maybe we're trying to hire for a higher role, and we might need to start with a lower role so that when somebody in a higher role comes in, they're better supported or something like that. So I'm going to say, don't keep hitting your head against the wall trying to make the same thing work, because you know they say that's the definition of insanity. So flip it around, try it in different ways, test in different ways, make the role concentrate on different things just to see, can we actually do things in a different way, right? So, for example, maybe instead of starting with a graphic designer, if you're having problems finding a graphic designer, you go ahead and hire somebody that helps with the administrative stuff, where all of your attention can be on the graphic design, and you can put better things in place for somebody to follow you, rather than somebody try to come in and be you for you, which is impossible half the time because people are not going to do it the way that you do it. But you can put better things in place so that now when they come in, the administrative person has helped you open your capacity, make more money. Now you can afford to bring in the graphic designer, keep the admin person, and both you and the graphic designer are better supported. Does that make sense as an example?
It does. It just, when I think about the priority of certain administrative things, there are things that actually even steer the graphic design. So, and that's how the graphic design, that's how all of that moves for me. Because I
No,
do
I
certain
understand that.
administrative, I do certain things
Did you
on the
hear where
back
I
end.
said the admin comes in and instead of doing the graphic design, they do everything that supports that first, allows you to do more graphic design, less of the admin stuff, bring in more money to now pay the graphic designer.
Right, but
Now
then they
you
still
have
would have
more
to have a
time.
level of thought. They still would
You
have to have a
still
level
have
of
more time.
thought.
Shawana, quit fighting. That's why your shit be taking 5 hours. Cut it out. Quit fighting and listen to what I'm
Oh.
telling you. So right now, you're looking for a graphic designer. This is just an example, right? And so now you have to still do graphic design and try to keep that graphic designer on par. Maybe if you start with an admin instead of a graphic designer, what the admin does is take the everything but design away from you. They're setting up the design, right? They're setting it up so that you're supported when you get to the design. This allows you to do more design. Now you can fund a designer, and both of you are more supported and can just focus on just the design. So that's just an example of how you look at another role that could support the role that you need. Now, does that make sense?
No, it made sense the first time. That is just the
Okay.
problem, because depending on who the person is, they need that initial guidance. You see, so
Shawana,
I
the
hear exactly
admin
what you're
is
saying,
freeing
and
you
I
up to
can,
give more guidance.
yeah.
Yeah, you're not going to get away from people needing more guidance when you hire them. You're not going to get away from them doing that. Even if they're a professional graphic designer top in their class, they're still going to need guidance on how you do things. So to free you up to give more guidance, that's why the admin is there, to free you up. But first, they're going to free you up to make more money to afford them as an admin and the graphic designer. When the graphic designer gets them, they're freeing you up to design, quality assure the design, and guide the designer. So you're looking at it like the designer needs to come in and be ready to just work the way you want them to work. Number one,
Well,
you're
no, no,
special.
no, 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 because there is time spent to even show them on the lowest level how to move, like even the initial thought process of what it takes for me. Seriously, like the lowest
Yes.
level of that thought, even with the graphic person. So that if you are or have some level of creativity,
It's even better.
but that's what I'm saying. Even with the person, if they have some level, because I know they're not me, because we people think different. But if I'm giving you a template and then you have some level of creativity, that's when you sprinkle yours to be like, hey, consider it this way. That I could work with that. But when it's now looking like you basically lied, you don't even have a creative eye. Then that's where it's like, oh man, come on.
So
Yeah.
you're still gonna have to guide them, right? And that was still the issue. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. And right now you don't have the time to make sure the work gets done and guide them. Is that correct?
But I'm doing the initial walkthrough and believing that we're good.
That was a
So then
yes or
that way,
no
even if, because
question,
see, with
man.
me, even if it's just me saying, oh, this is good, and I just boop, 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 do minor tweaks, I'm happy. I'm just as happy.
I understand what you want versus what you're getting. So I'm gonna go back to the question. You still need time to guide them, correct?
Yeah. But if you come in, but see, here's the thing. It's like you hire a person for a job though. And if they say that they have that experience, you still expect to see signs of them having that experience.
We understand that you seem to be hiring the wrong people, Shawana. They're telling you one thing and performing another way. That still needs more guidance, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you hire the admin first, it frees you up for the more guidance. It even frees you up to spend more time finding the right person. You're going over the simple problem I'm trying to solve for you, which is you're gonna need more time away from design to handle quality assurance, to handle guidance, and to handle other things. And so to give you some of that time back so that you can do that, maybe you hire an admin first rather than trying to hire the primary role. Do you get what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
understand that you're having problems hiring for the primary role, and those problems are taking you away from what you're doing. So we're trying to solve the time issue so that you can find a good talent pool to go into. But even to find the talent takes what? Time. So we're trying to give you some time back. That's why we're saying, hey, look at hiring for the admin to regain some of your time, assign that time to finding a better person. When you find the better person, now we can reassign that time to guiding that person. And then when they become the person, it makes it worth it that you now have the admin and the person in the primary role. Now, does that make sense? Because I feel like
Yeah, it did. It makes
you're
sense the
telling me
first
about
time.
it's hard to find the
It
person. I'm
makes
trying to
sense
give
the
you more
first
time.
time.
Yes, ma'am. It's all about time.
Thank
Managing
you.
yourself in the time.
Thanks, honey.
So just consider doing it differently, is all.
Yes,
Is
ma'am.
all. Good Lord. It is Mexico deja vu, right? It really is. Okay, so yes, so that's for Shawana, who gonna fight you every time, baby. Let's go to Dr. Tachi. Dr. Tachi, what marketing issues are you having or obstacles are you having?
I think it's just people to help with it.
Mm-hmm.
So I've had in terms of yeah, that's more so doing social media and not market. Well, it's still part of marketing. So I've had the interns help, but of course that's more so seasonal as they come in. So we're getting ready for another crop, but in between time, I'm like, have to have somebody do that. So just people to help so I don't have to do the stuff. That's it.
I wonder, Dr. Tachi, do you have to follow that seasonal schedule, or can you adapt it a bit?
What do you mean?
For example, you have a group going out and a group coming in, a group going out and a group coming in. However, can we do like a different version of that, right? So say if we have a group that comes in at the top of every quarter, right? We have another group that comes in the middle of the quarter. Does that make sense?
It does.
So that there's always somebody there, but they're still only doing their own cycle, the correct cycle of being an intern.
It does, except for schools usually don't work that way. So it's very dependent upon when school opens, when school closes, when their departments say they can do an internship. So usually it's per semester, and it's a certain amount of time during the semester. So now there's like a little bit of a break till the next one because it was summer. So I'm sure that it will start to level off, but it's just the initial where it seems to be a break. So that's not really my control per se.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Um, so I guess, yeah, so you're gonna have that lull either way because you don't control the timing of when they start and when they end. Now I would say that sometimes that's where maybe going to different institutions and different types of institutions may be helpful, Dr. Tachi, because what I know is you're probably pulling from traditional institutions, but maybe during the summer and during those off times for them, maybe we get some people in from like the tech colleges to do an internship, because tech colleges have video production people, CAD people, all that kind of stuff. Do you think that could work to kind of solve that? Because what we know about those tech colleges is they kind of go year round. They might be a little sparse in the summer, but they still have people that have full-time schedules most of the time, because these are people who work jobs and they're trying to get through this 2-year program or this certificate program or whatever. Do you think that is an option to
Yeah,
not just look at the traditional universities?
yeah, actually I'm very open to that. So I just need to identify, because I actually did try reaching out to one and that hadn't been successful. So I will continue doing that. I don't know what it is about the United States of America. But like all the interns I've had, except for one right now, have been Canadian, because Canada is very on top of that type of thing. And then so whenever I try to reach out to US school, and of course I haven't reached out to everyone, so this is not an assessment of all of them, but there's I don't know, something about Americans. It's that, so I just have to find the right school and the right program. But that's very helpful, yes.
Yeah, I like that. Also, you can offer it as almost like a little training program during the summer for VAs, where really instead of you paying them, they could pay a small fee to learn how to do that stuff and add that to their qualifications and go out and make more money as a VA. So that's something that you can kind of get with a VA agency to kind of do. You can either say,
Oh.
hey, I will train your people for free or for this little amount, because that's a skill that they would need too, because us entrepreneurs, we need that. And of course, we are the driving force of needing VAs. So that's another way to look at that, Dr. Taji.
Well, blow me down. Okay.
Hilarious, Dr. Taji. All right. Kimberly is at the Dream Funder, but Kimberly, you can put your obstacle with marketing in the chat. Debbie, if it's safe for you, you can unmute and tell us what is your biggest obstacle with marketing, especially in this fourth quarter. I'll ask you to unmute, so we'll make that quicker. She just talking. There you
Can
go,
you hear me now?
We
Okay.
do.
Yes. Okay. And I'm safely driving. So,
Okay,
so the marketing, the challenges that I have now, you know what? It's really just about, I think I talked about this yesterday, or segmenting how I market to the different people that I have in my circle. I realized that I was doing it wrong. I was sending the same message to everybody. So now it's sitting down and segmenting each of them and then catering my
Tell us who your
offering.
different people are.
So I have the Chamber of Commerce, which I've been immersed in their group for 2 years, and I couldn't figure out how to connect with them, but I figured out a way, and I actually think I'm onto something. So now it's about creating that emailing sequence to cultivate them as clients. So I'm pretty excited about that. And then the other individuals are pretty much cold. The people who I met through the speech that I gave in August, I got to nurture those, but those are more cold. I got to warm them up. So I've got to figure out how to market to them. And so that's what I'm doing, figuring out how to market to each segment.
I love that. So as far as your cold and warming them up, we do have a resource for that. There is a whole entire blog post, and that blog post actually has scripts for you to use in your email. So that'll be in the show notes today. So there you go. So Teray, and don't forget that lead magnets are great, but to figure out what people want, don't forget it's okay to do polls and surveys so that you can ask them, say, hey, I want to help you to do whatever. Tell me what would be of most value to you, and kind of give them some choices. And then leave one blank so they can just kind of fill in the blank. That way you're getting information from them on what they're saying that they want. Okay. So Ray, what is your biggest obstacle when it comes to marketing?
I think I have two. My biggest obstacle right now is visibility. I need more eyes on my offers. But I think that even whenever I have eyes on my offers, I'm not doing a good enough job with stressing pain points. I think I'm real good at teaching, because that's who I am.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a teacher. I can explain all day. I can help you understand.
Yes.
But if I don't hit them pain points, if people don't feel pressed about why they need to move and act.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, those two things. I need more people to see the product, and they need to feel something about it.
So let's talk about that second one, and that is the fact that you're a great teacher. So sometimes we can be too good of a teacher, right? And because we've taught something, people feel like they can take what we just taught and go and run on that for a while before they come and buy. Okay. So along with your teaching, what you have to do is uncover the gap. I just taught you this. However, you're still going to need this, or you're still going to feel that. You know what I'm saying? So it's a combination of pressing the pain points, but also showing them that the little bit that you gave them for free is not enough to absolve that pain. It might be a Band-Aid over a gunshot wound. You see what I'm saying? It might just be, I'm teaching you how to think differently, but you don't still know the execution steps just yet. You still need to buy.
Right. And that's what I've been trying to do. So in my videos, I've been going deeper. And the reason why I've been going deeper is because you have, over the summer, you've been talking to us about how in this current market climate, how people need more for free. Right. And so I'm like, okay, these little dating tips out here, especially in the realm that I'm in, this dating space, there are so many that, I'm competing with a lot. So I need to give them more and something different than what they're seeing. But what I've been doing is the deeper content that I've been giving them. I'm like, yeah, so even though I'm giving you this, you still don't know what a high quality man looks like. So the upcoming workshop is going to teach you that, because even if you take what I just gave you, even, you know what I mean? You're still out here and you're dating guys and you think a high quality man is a rich guy. And that's not the case. I'm going to explain that to you next week, blah, 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 blah. Right. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to, you know, and even while I'm working on this workshop, even once they attend the workshop, I'm like, yeah, now that you know this, you still also need to position yourself to be able to be a high quality woman. What does that look like? What are you doing wrong? Let's talk about that in the next, you know what I mean? So I have a whole plan that goes into March, you know what I mean? To pull them in. So I'm carefully, even though it seems like I'm going deeper and deeper, but like you said, my content is deeper, but I don't want, like you said, I don't want them to feel like they're getting enough, but I want them to feel like they're getting value. But by the time I start my workshops and my series, I want to start pulling back on this deep free content and say, hey, I'm giving so much value in the paid stuff. You're going to need to get in here if you want to. Remember last summer, whenever I was giving all that, I'm giving even more in this paid stuff.
You do. So what I'm going to say about giving more and going deeper is you don't have to give more and go deeper on the same content that you sell. Right. So I love the fact that you're saying, hey, I'm gonna help you to, you know, date and marry the high quality man. But before that, you have to know what a high quality man is. That's great. Right. Because anything that is before where your paid content starts or after where your paid content starts or kind of aligned or cross-selling with your paid content is fine. But what you don't want to do is say, oh, in this climate, I got to give more. So let me start pulling from the paid stuff. We don't want to do that. So don't forget that. So you did a great job in pulling from the before. Let me explain to you who this is and the importance of picking the right one for you. Right. So I love that. I also want you to get a little creative because you are in a market to where a lot of people are doing a lot of things. But what we know is most people try to press upon their own credibility, right? You can get a little more creative. So I love to see in the dating realm when y'all newsjack like you just did recently. I love to see when you use case studies that we all know about. You know what I'm saying? Like if you did a case study on Elizabeth Taylor and all them husbands she had, you know what I'm saying? Like what, you know what I'm saying? So what you're doing is you're making it more relatable to us. And because you're making it more relatable without judging us, we feel a little more affinity for you rather than this other person who is basically telling us they the shit and we're not. And that's why we're not finding people. You know what I'm saying? So even being creative, I think is going to help in your marketing. It's also going to make the marketing a little more diverse where you don't feel like you got to do the same thing every time. And how do I do it differently this time? Cool beans. All right. Over here on the YouTube side, I asked them also what obstacles are they having. Good morning, Chantilly. Good morning, Dr. LaFera is over here on the YouTube side. So Chantilly said, I'm so happy to finally say I don't believe I have any challenges to marketing right now. Great, Chantilly. We love that. Glow says, my biggest obstacle is keeping up. Teray, Glow said, Teray, I watched your video yesterday. That was a good question that you asked. So awesome. See, your content is getting out there. So a part of, again, to remind you, Teray, a part of what you have to do is you have to tell people what you're talking about in your group, outside of the group, right? So even when you do those lives and stuff, why aren't you putting those lives into video.ai and chopping them up and publishing those outside and say, if you want to join this conversation, these are the kinds of conversations we're having so that you get more people in your group.
I need to learn how to do that.
Girl, it ain't even a learn. It's just get the thing uploaded and it does all the work for you.
I have a question for Teray. Who's your audience? Is it all women or is it women of a certain age or is it women who've never been married or is it women?
It's divorced women over 40.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Although my husband's niece is in it and she's learning all the things. How old is she? She's 30. And she's like, oh, this is great because the dude that I date, like the younger girls can definitely learn from it because they don't know how to date. They're confused. So
Yeah.
she's in my group and she's interacting and she's learning all these things about her uncle. Because I'm like taking I was like, child, let me tell you about my husband. But yeah, she's learning, but the group is not for her, but she's learning all the things. You know what I mean? But yeah, no, this is
Yeah. And that's always going to be the case, right?
Because I'm
the
in the
things that we
group, but
talk
I
about are valuable for a lot of people, but don't switch your core ideal client just because it's valuable for a lot of people. So good job, Teray. What else did you want to add, Debbie? Uh-oh,
never
Debbie's.
been married, so I didn't know if it was for me. It was, what? Can
Yeah,
you hear
just
me?
join the group, Debbie. Just join the group and go over there and
Oh.
see what's going on
No.
over there.
Oh, I'm in
See
the
what's going on.
Debbie's in the group. She just got in the group like a couple months ago. But Dewana's in the group, and Dewana's married, but she's very active because Dewana's like, I'm married and I'm learning some stuff. Like what? You know? And then I have a woman from Australia in the group, and she's newly divorced, and so she's learning some things. So yeah.
Love it. I love that. Okay, so Glow said her biggest obstacle is keeping up. I don't quite know what that means, Glow. Keeping up with what? The Kardashians? What you trying to keep up with, girl? So it may be if you're talking about time management, you know we have a membership for that. Yeah. So if it's time management, which is really managing yourself in time, we have a membership for that, shaycannon.com/membership. If you're talking about keeping up with the marketing trends, I would say keep testing things with your own audience because because something is a trend with other audiences doesn't mean it'll work for yours. So hopefully one of those two things will help Glow. So let me show you guys. We got a lot to help you with marketing that's coming in on your show notes. So especially for Debbie, when she said she needs to heat up her email list, that would be this one, Debbie, breathing life into your small business email list. That is the blog that has how to do it and the actual scripts that you can copy and paste and then kind of fill in the blanks. So that's that one. But we got one on marketing words, creating a marketing runway. Last week we did intro to CRM, creating influence, the blueprint. So this is like that social media marketing and helping you to find somebody that's kind of in your area, find your guru and follow their blueprint. Using media to increase your visibility, credibility, and revenue, standing out. I mean, we got all of these marketing blogs. And then, of course, if you want the workshop, we got the organic marketing workshop. We got the visibility marketing with thought leadership, and we got affiliate marketing workshops. And we have continued the sale from last month to this month so that y'all can take advantage. So go to shaycannon.com/work it, or WORKIT, work it. So is the Australian breakdancer Teray. I mean, after the Olympics, they probably do need somebody to marry because that was awful. All right, last call for any questions. Glow, if you want to clarify what you meant, feel free to do that in the comments. Any questions or value adds in studio while you think about it. I'm going to go ahead with the show announcements, and that is that September's training is going to be a clarity clinic. It is free, but if you want the success kit, there will be an additional cost for the success kit, but the clinic itself is free. It's going to take place on back-to-back Wednesdays starting on the 18th. The first Wednesday is going to be a review of your clarity, and then we're going to get that straight, give you some strategies, and then give you a week to think about it, execute on it, and we're going to come back the following Wednesday and do a check-in, okay? So this is great for people who are having any issues with your clarity. If you've never had clarity, if it may be time for you to refresh that roadmap that you've gotten from me, any of that, this is a great event for you. If you want this show in your inbox, you can get a reminder to hop into YouTube Live, and in the afternoons, you will get a link to the show notes and a link to the replay. Go to shaycannon.com/show to sign up to get the morning show in your inbox. If you missed last night, it was the season finale finale of my show, Design Your CEO Life. So season 1 is done on the Indie Soup Media Network. If you want to watch the replays, go to shaycannon.com/design. Also at the top of the page is a link to the Indie Soup Media Network YouTube channel. You guys need to subscribe, okay? Tonight, if you have bought a workshop, either from the sale or you bought the last live workshop on visibility marketing, your bonus is tonight, which is a live Q&A, okay? A live Q&A, because most of the workshops were on demand. And if that was your first time getting that workshop, you now tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern time have the opportunity to ask questions live as your bonus. Yes, Dr. Tachi. And so Glow said yes, marketing. Okay, so Glow, you need to make sure that you open today's email so that you can go through those blogs. So that if you have a specific question, you can come back on the morning show and ask that specific question based on the new information you have from those blogs that I have gotten together for you. Okay, Glow? All right. Anybody in studio have a question? It is last call for alcohol. Tomorrow we're going to talk about the last top focus for Q4, and that is sales. So we have talked about content. Today we talked about marketing. Tomorrow we will talk about sales. Any questions on marketing or even content? All righty. Well, the studio is closing in 5, 4, 3,